Welcome students, welcome to the science class of class 3. So students, in previous video we have started with the lesson birds. So in this video we are again going to continue with the same lesson with the new topic, that is feet and claws. Feet and claws. Yes. Now in the last video we learnt about the different types of beaks. Which are those beaks? Birds. Different birds have different types of beaks. First one was strong, sharp and hooked beak. Which are the examples of these birds? Hawk and vulture. The second type of beak is strong, sharp and chisel-shaped beak. Then what are the examples of these type of beaks? Woodpecker. Woodpecker has chisel-shaped beak. Second is the third one is the strong, short and hard beak. Which are the examples of this type of beaks? Yes, peacock and sparrow. Then fourth comes the long and slender beak. Which are those birds? They are hoop. A bird named hoop. It is having long and slender beak. Then next is the long, pointed and straw-like beak. So hummingbird is having long, pointed and straw-like beak. Okay. Then again broad and flat beak. Which are the birds that are having broad and flat beak? Yes, duck and goose. Then we discussed that these broad beaks are having holes on the either side, so that when they take in the muddy water which contains plants or worms, so what happens? The muddy water is thrown out of the holes and only the worms and the plants, they get into the mouth. Then next is the short and broad beak. Short and broad beak. What is the example of this type of bird? It is a swallow. A swallow bird is having short and broad beak. Then parrot. Parrot is an example of bird which is having hooked and curved beak. So students, these were the different types of beaks which we discussed in the last video. So today we are going to discuss about the different types of feet and claws. Feet and claws. How different types of birds have different types of feet and different types of claws. So students, open your page number 39. I'll read the para. You just listen it carefully. Feet and claws. Birds have 2 feet. Birds are having 2 feet. Birds have 2 feet. Yes. Remember, birds have 2 feet. Each foot has 3 or 4 toes. Each of the foot of the bird are having 3 or 4 toes. Birds use their claws and feet to hold food. What is the purpose of feet and claws? The purpose of feet and claws is to hold the food. They also use their feet to move around on the ground or on the branches of the trees. Yes, feet help us. As the feet, with our feet, we use our feet to walk. In the same way, birds also use their feet to move around and on the branches of the trees. Now, they have categorized the birds mainly in different types. Praying birds. Pray. P-R-E-Y-I-N-G. Praying birds. Let us see what are praying birds. Flesh-eating birds such as eagle, owl and vulture are called praying birds. They have very sharp and curved claws called talons. Praying birds have 3 toes in the front and 1 at the back. They use their toes to catch small animals such as rats, toads and small birds. Yes, which are the praying birds? Praying birds are flesh-eating birds. Example, owl, vulture. These are the flesh-eating birds. Then they are having sharp and curved claws, which are called as talons. Which are called as talons. Yes, talons. Praying birds have 3 toes in the front and 1 at the back. They are having three toes in front and 1 at the back. You can see in the picture, it is shown. They use their toes to catch small insects, small animals such as rats, toads and small birds. What is the use of how they use their toes? They use their toes to catch small animals like rat, toads and small birds. Now what is the meaning of toads? Yes, it is the young one of frog. We can say it is the small young one of frog. So praying birds means flesh-eating birds. Then perching birds. Birds such as pigeon, crow, sparrow and nightingales have feet with 3 toes in the front and 1 behind. Such feet help them to hold on the branch firmly. This is called perching. Perching. This is called perching. Again, one type is perching. Example, sparrow. Then pigeon, crow. Again, they are having feet with 3 toes. They are having feet with 3 toes in the front and 1 at the back or 1 behind. Okay, these feet help them to hold the branch firmly. Then scratching birds. Next one is the scratching birds. Hen. Example is hen. Hens have thin feet with with sharp and hard claws. These claws have 3 long toes in the front and short toe at the back. Yes, you can see the picture clearly. It is shown that 3 long toes in the front and 1 toe at the back. It is the 1 toe which is at the back is short. These toes help them to dig the ground and find the food. What is the use of these sharp and hard claws? They help them to dig into the ground and find the food. Peacocks also use their toes to dig out food from the ground. Next one is the climbing birds. Birds such as woodpecker and parrot have 2 toes in the front and 2 toes at the back. Their toes help them to climb the trees and hold on to branches. These also help the birds to balance themselves while climbing. See, the first one is praying birds, then the second is perching birds, third scratching birds, and the 4th one is climbing birds. The example of climbing birds are parrot and woodpecker. They have 2 toes in the front and 2 at the back. These toes help them to climb the trees and hold on to the branches. Next type is swimming and aquatic birds. Yes, what are the types of toes or claws swimming birds have? Birds such as duck and swan have webbed feet. Swimming birds are having webbed feet. They have 3 toes in the front that are joined by the skin called web. Yes, you can see in the picture. See here how the toes are. They have 3 toes in the front that are joined by the skin. Yes, that are joined by the skin. Such webbed feet help them to push back water while swimming. Yes, these toes help them to push back water while swimming. Means this type of toes help them to swim in water. Which are these toes? Which are these toes? These birds have the webbed feet. Then wading birds. Birds such as heron and crane have long legs with spread out toes. Crane, it is having long legs. These help them to walk in the shallow water. This is called wading. They have 4 toes, 3 in the front and 1 at the back. Yes, again they are having 3 toes, 4 toes, 3 in the front and 1 at the back. These toes are thin and never get caught in the soft mud. Their toes are thin but they never get caught in the soft mud. Then running birds. Yes, ostrich is a runner. Ostrich bird is a runner. It runs very fast. It has long and strong legs. It has only 2 toes with cushion pads underneath, which prevents its legs from sinking in the desert sand. Sinking means to go deep inside. So, the leg prevents them to sink in the desert sand. Now, let us discuss about how the birds fly. Yes, we know that birds fly with the help of their wings. Birds fly with the help of their wings and strong muscles that attach the wings to their body. These muscles are called flight muscles. Yes, the muscles which help them to fly are called as flight muscles. These help the bird to move its wing up and down or forward and backward. So these flight muscles help them to move backward and forward as well as up and down. Birds have hollow bones. Birds are having hollow bones. Hollow bones. The tail of the birds help in changing their direction while flying. What is the use of the tail? It helps in changing the direction where they want to move, whether they want to move this side or that side, that is whether they want to move to the right or to the left. With the help of the tail they can change their direction. Boat shape and light body of birds help them to cut through the air while flying. Boat shape and light body of birds. If the bird is very light in weight, they help them to cut through the air while flying. The bird flaps its wing to fly. Flap means they flap it like this way. They flap its wing to fly. While flying, the wings show 2 types of movement. Yes, while flying, there are 2 types of movements, which are there upstroke and downstroke. Upstroke. During this movement, the wings move up and backward. Upstroke means the wings are moving up and backward. Then downstroke. During this movement, the wings move down and forward. Yes, upstroke means wings are moving up and backward. Up and backward. And in the downstroke, this movement, the wings move down and forward. Okay, you can see here the bird, a picture is shown of parrot. The movement of upstroke and the movement of the downstroke. Now feathers. Let us discuss about feathers. Feathers cover the body and wings of the birds. Birds have the following 3 types of feathers. See, 3 types of feathers. Body feather, down feather and flight feathers. Body feather, these cover the body of the birds. Down feathers, these are short and fluffy feathers which keep the bird's body warm. These are short and fluffy feathers which keep the bird's body warm. Flight feathers. These are large feathers found mostly on the wings and the tails of the bird. They help the birds to fly. Some birds like ostrich and emu do not have hollow bones. These birds cannot fly and hence are called flightless birds. So if I ask you which are the flightless birds, then you can say it is ostrich and emu. Why? Because they cannot fly. Yes, they don't have hollow bones. Now where do birds live? As we people, human beings live in houses, in the same way birds live in nest. The place where birds live with their young ones is called nest. Birds use grass, straw, dry leaves, twigs, pieces of cloth, paper and threads to build their nest. Birds use their nest to lay and hatch eggs. Nests also help the young ones from bad weather and enemies. Yes, as we are protected in our house, in the same way the birds nest help the birds to be protected in their nest. Birds may build their nest at various places such as on the bushes and trees, on roofs of houses and even on the ground. So where do birds build their nest? They can build their nest at various places, on the trees, on the roof of houses or even on the ground. The tailor bird uses its beak as a needle to sew leaves together using wool and thread. Hence it is called as tailor bird. It is sewing its nest with the help of thread. It chooses broad leaves and stuffs them with the soft material to make the nest cozy. Yes, broad leaves. It makes use of broad leaves and stuff them with the soft material to make the nest cozy. The weaver bird uses its beak to weave a strong cup-shaped nest using twigs and dry grass. You can see the picture of the weaver bird. The nest usually hangs from the branch of the tree. The nest has small tunnel-like opening at the bottom from where the bird enters. Yes, you can see at the bottom there is a tunnel-like shape from where the bird enters into the nest. The woodpecker makes hole in the tree trunk with its beak to make a nest. Yes, woodpecker, it makes its nest in the trunk of the tree by making holes in the tree trunk. Penguins make their nest on the ground since they live in cold places. It is difficult to find twigs and grass in such places. Hence they make their nest with pebbles and stones. Yes, penguins make their nest on the ground. There they don't find the grass or twigs as they live in the cold places. Birds like fall and partridge build hollow nests on the ground. They scoop out mud and spread out straw and hay to make their nest soft and lay eggs. They build nests in the grassy fields to remain hidden from predators. Yes, predators means they are the hunters who are going to hunt them. So to remain safe, they scoop out the mud and spread out the straw and hay. Hay means dried grass and make their nest to be hidden from their predators. Owls, parrots and hornbills build their nest mostly in the hollow spaces of walls or trees. Owls make their nest in the hollow spaces of walls or trees. Cuckoo does not make any nest. It lays its egg in the crow's nest. The crow looks after its egg and babies. Yes, cuckoo is a bird which does not make a nest. It lays its egg in the nest made by the crow and the crow takes care of its egg and babies. Caring for the young ones. The mother bird lays its egg in its nest and keeps them warm until they hatch into young ones. Yes, the mother bird is always laying the eggs and taking care of the eggs. Then the father bird helps to protect the eggs from enemies. Once the babies hatch out, they cannot fly as they are weak, featherless and cannot see. When they come out of the egg, the birds cannot fly because they are weak. So they are featherless, they don't have feathers and they cannot see. So the parent birds help them in feeding. So what is the job of the parent bird? They help the birds to feed. They take care of their young ones until they develop feathers and learn to fly and search for food on their own. As our parents are taking care, in the same way the parent birds are also taking care of their young ones. So students, this was about the different types of birds having different types of feet and claws. Now students, what you have to do, again you will read the chapter thoroughly, underline the hard words. So I hope you have understood this lesson. So what is your pH? You have to read the lesson and you are going to underline the hard words. Now in the next video we will complete the exercise page number 43 and 44. Again the answers in brief will be posted in the WhatsApp group. Till then stay safe and stay healthy.